I want to share something that happens to me in the compound where I and my family were living. One morning, my wife was outside sweeping the compound. Our two children were standing close to her playing. Suddenly, one woman that lives in the compound came out of her room and started looking at my wife and our children in a strange way. Before my wife could even greet her, the woman said something that shocked everybody. She said to my wife, "Do you think you're behaving well in this compound? Because you have beautiful children." It is true that my wife and I are not very fine people, but God bless us with very beautiful children. Then the woman looked at my two children again and said something that made my wife very afraid. She said, "These children that are making you proud in this compound, I bet you something bad will happen to them." My wife quickly called me on the phone and told me what the woman said. Immediately, I left where I was and rushed back home. When I got home, my wife was still shaking. My children did not even understand what was going on. I was very confused. I kept asking myself, what did my family do to this woman? That evening, I decided to go to my church. When I got to the church, I knelt at the altar and prayed seriously. I told God, "God of this altar, you can see what this woman said to my children. I don't know what her plans are, but please, God, protect my family. Any evil plans she has against us, let it go back to her." After that prayer, I went back home. 2 days later, something surprising happened in the compound. The same woman was in her kitchen cooking with her children. Suddenly, there was a gas fire accident and it affected the woman. But the strange thing was that her children were inside that kitchen with her. Yet, nothing happens to them. The neighbors rushed her to the hospital and she stayed there almost 2 months, receiving treatment. After some time, she came back to the compound. Later, we heard that her family took her somewhere for prayers. After she returned from there, one of her friends came to me and told me something very shocking. They said the woman was told during the prayers that what happened to her was connected to the prayer I made at my church altar. When I heard it, I just kept quiet. But I was still very uncomfortable seeing her around my children. After everything that happened, so I went back to the church again. This time, I prayed and said, "God, I don't want trouble. I just want peace for my family. Please, let that be a way this woman will leave this compound, so that my family and I can live in peace." After that prayer, something else happened. Not up to 2 weeks later, the woman suddenly became sick. Because of that situation, her family decided that she could no longer stay in that compound. They came and packed her things, carried her with her children, and moved out of the compound. Since that day, no one has seen her or heard what finally happens to her. That experience taught me something very serious. Sometimes you may be living quietly with people, yet they don't like you for no reason. Some people may dislike you because of your children, or because your husband takes good care of you, or even because of how you dress. Some people just carried hatred in their hearts. Imagine a woman with children coming outside speaking badly about another woman's children. That experience made me to be very careful with people around me, because sometimes the people living very closest to you may not truly like you. I'm sharing this story to return all the glory to God, and also to advise every one of us to be very prayerful. My dear brother, thank God for your life. Thank God for your family. And thank you for sharing this story with us. My lovely family, please let us learn something from this story. Thank you for always watching my videos. Please share this video so that others will get to know about it. See you all on my next post.